Hey, today is going to be an exciting episode because I have Susanne Biro with me, and she's the author of This Could Be Everything, Making Tomorrow Better Than Today. Tune in! Hey, I'm Steve Sapato, and you're listening to Know, Like, and Trust the podcast. And today, I'm going to tell you what, if you want your life to change, if you want things to get better, the guest I have for you today is Susanne Biro. And she's an executive coach, and she's got a new book out. Anyway, I'll let her tell all that to you because it's going to be a great 20 minutes, all right? Suzanne, you there?
I am. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So let's start off with you. Tell me a little bit. You've been an executive coach for how long?
For 24 years. Yeah, that just means I'm a little bit old.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you can't tell it by looking at you. That's for sure. That's
well,
really
thank
cool.
you.
Yeah. So an executive coach for 24 years, and that means, what does that mean? I say executive coach. Does that mean I go into C-suites and I talk to people and say, hey, you need help. I'm gonna fix you. Is that what we do?
No. No. So I've spent 24 years listening to the inner thoughts, concerns, frustrations, aspirations of literally thousands of some of our world's best and brightest. That would hold leadership roles in organizations. I've worked across probably almost every different industry at this stage. These are highly successful men and women, and coaching is really a partnership that doesn't give advice, but spends structured time with another person to have them get really clear and hear their own internal guidance.
See, that's
What's working, what's not, what's frustrating, what do you want to be, where do you want to be more effective? Why do you suspect you're not as effective as you could be? What's getting in the way? What do you need to try and do next? And so that we learn about ourselves and then we go apply it out there.
I think it is phenomenal what we think we know about ourselves, about what we do, and what we really don't. Matter of fact, I just had somebody reach out to me, and I've had a podcast since 2015, I think it was, called The Happiness Agenda. And, it's like people say, why'd you start it? And I go, I just wanted to do a podcast. Somebody told me it was the coming thing, blah, 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 right? But then I just met somebody the other day, a month ago, and they said, hey, how's your podcast doing? I went, it's doing really good. And they went, well, they asked me, and they said, well, here, I'm going to send you a checklist. Here's 20 things I want you to answer for me, and then get back with me. And when I started to read their checklist, I went, what? You want me to do how? I should have been doing what? So for 12 or 14 years, however many the happiness agenda has been out there, I haven't been following the script that would supposedly put money in your pocket for that. Well, I didn't create it for making money. But what I'm trying to relate there is that took somebody else to ask me the right questions. Isn't that what you do for the CEOs and the executives?
Yeah, and I think it's the same in every single field. I mean, if it's like that saying, you can pay someone to come in and tell you how to fix something. It might take them an hour, but what you're paying for is their 20 years to know exactly what to fix.
Yeah.
And I think that's true in every single field, and it certainly would be true in executive coaching. It just expedites clarity and focus for executives, for sure.
I think it's critical if you're in that group, if you're thinking that you say, well, I don't really need a coach. It was years ago. I was still living in California, so that's going back 7 to 10 years, I'll say. And I was playing golf with somebody, and he had his own private plane, and he had this. And as we started talking, I said, so tell me about how you got there. And his first comment right off the top was, well, I want to tell you first of all, I couldn't have gotten where I am today without a coach.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and went, seriously, right? So that's the first real successful person who's looked at me and said, I used a coach. Now, maybe everybody else is, but they don't talk about it. I thought that was fascinating. So it does take a coach to help us get to those places where we're going to be more successful. And that's what Suzanne can do for you. If you're interested, Suzanne, let's start off by how do they get in touch with you?
Best place is my website, SuzanneBiro.com.
Now,
I only work with a handful.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Suzanne has yet to be the podcast guest I needed, which is, how do you spell Suzanne?
Susanne.
Okay, and the last name?
Biro is B as in Bob, IRO. So SuzanneBiro.com.
Yeah, see, and it's important because while we're here visually right now, there's going to be a podcast that doesn't have the visual part. So you can't look down the screen and see how to spell her name. So anytime Suzanne's on something giving her website and she says, hey, it's Susanne Biro, it's like me, Steve Sapato. People go, okay. And I go, how do you spell Sapato? And most
Yes.
people are like,
Yes, thank you.
I go, there you go. So it's Susanne, even though we pronounce it Suzanne, Susanne. And Biro, as she said, sounds like you're having a beer, but it's Biro, SuzanneBiro.com. It's important that you guys remember that. Go to her website. And what will they find when they get to your website, Suzanne?
They'll find a bunch of things that will either be free or sort of low price point. Because I only work with a handful of CEOs every single year, and so what I wanted to do was over the last couple of years is bring the work I do there that is incredibly helpful to my clients to thousands more. So I have an app, I have a blog, I have a soon to be released book, and I have a podcast called Deep Fear. So it's all there, lots of different ways to access the same sort of insights and tools that I've shared with my clients.
It's interesting what she said. She said, I've been helping these many people, and I'm holding my hands close, which is a very few when we think about the bigger picture. But I wanted to help more. That's like me. When I did my relationship work, I said, I want to help more than the 12, 15 people that I helped during the course of a year. And so I wrote a book, The 20, right? So it could help more people. It could answer the questions. And it is important that those of us who are helping people want to help more people. And if you're one of the people who wants the help, start by reaching out. She said some of the stuff she had was free. A lot of it was inexpensive. But the truth is, we want you to start there. If you start finding out what you can do there or what you might need, because you find your shortcomings, like my podcast thing that I just talked about, I find my shortcomings and I'm like, man, I need a lot of help to make sure that it really takes off the way that it should. I want to get it to hundreds of thousands of listeners and not just tens of thousands. And so it's important that if you go to Suzanne's website and you start to click on a couple things, I bet you Suzanne has a way for you to contact her there, don't you, Suzanne?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And do they fill out a form or can they call you?
You can follow me on social media. You can message me there. You can email me. You can call.
Wow, all of the above, right?
All of the above. Yeah, I'm a real life person over at this end.
And it's important that's one of the things as we teach people. I teach people how to be a speaker and how to get in touch with people, how to maintain relationships. And everybody wants to be contacted differently. My son hates to pick up the phone. I bet you it's been 5 years since I talked to him on the phone, right? Because he'll text or he'll do it through the social media, but he just hates picking up the phone. And that's true of some of our clients. If you don't like being on the phone, text her. If you don't like using text, use email. There's so many ways that we can communicate these days, and we want to help you. And if your favorite way of communicating, let us know, and we'll connect with you. So, Suzanne, you said you had a new book coming out too, right?
Yeah. So it's 24 years in the making, 3 years to write it. It's called This Could Be Everything for anyone who wants to make their tomorrow better than today. It should be released within the next month or so. And I'm just really excited because I painstakingly wrote it with the idea of application in mind. As you and I spoke as we were beginning, people don't need more information. We have volumes of information and we're drowning in it. And so I wanted to write a book that would be nothing more, nothing less than a reader who's interested in becoming more effective in their life and in any leadership role they might hold. And a way to apply that. So it is just a very short, applicable read with each chapter having one big idea and then a way to apply that big idea in your life and your work right now.
So I'm going to ask everyone who's listening a question. Do you want to be better tomorrow than you are today? And if you said no, go ahead and click off the video. We don't need you on the show, right? Because all of us would like to be better tomorrow than we are today. That's what Suzanne's book is about. It's called This Could Be Everything. Ooh, think about that. And then the subtitle is Tomorrow. Well, it's tomorrow can be better than today. Something to that effect, right, Suzanne?
Yeah, for anyone who wants to make their tomorrow better than today. And I would say, even if you don't connect with the sentence of, I want to be better, but I suspect you want to feel better and you'd love your relationships to be more rewarding or fulfilling. This is the book for you.
You know, it's fascinating. She spent 24 years helping the executives, the CEOs find better ways to do things, find better parts in their lives to improve themselves. And I think it's important that when you hear from somebody who's stepping out of that wants to help you, wow, what a step. So again, I'm going to give your website. It's SusanneBiro.com, SusanneBiro, Susanne Biro, right, .com. I want you to go there and I want you to click and find out what might help you have a better life, live a better life, be a better person. That's one of the things when I do my love creation. So I've got a love event coming up in February in Tampa. And what I tell people is it's not always about your partner. A lot of times it's about us, how we're creating a new us so that we can find the right partner. So it's same with what she's helping you with here. What's going to help you be better might be personal work, and it might be things you need to learn in order to reach that new level, right, Susanne?
Yeah, well, and I think once we feel better, I think a lot of us don't feel great in our lives. And so once we feel better, we're so much better out there with everyone we interact with. And then things flow so much more effortlessly. And we don't make work for ourselves. And it leads to all kinds of success.
You know, it's interesting how she said we want to feel better. I don't know about you, but I'm bombarded with stuff where people say this, all my Facebook stuff. Hey, you need to take this supplement. Hey, you need to take this thing. I was reading something the other day. It was bee pollen. You have to take bee pollen. It's going to make you all healthy. And then the other one was black seed oil kills all the worms or bacteria or something in your body. And that's great, right? That we get all this information. And most of us say, well, that's how I'm going to feel better. But a lot of what makes us feel better is here, right,
Yes.
Susanne?
Yes. Yeah. So this is really taking a look at what are we thinking about most of the time? What are we placing, giving most of our, like the most precious commodity we have is not time. It's where we place our internal focus. And without any bringing awareness to that, the human mind, the more we think a thought, the more we will think it, and neurons grow and recede according to use. And so we sort of grow our brain in a very particular way. And so then life feels generally the same for us. No matter what we achieve out there, it still feels like the same. Like we can achieve all kinds of sort of success and wealth and power, but we still feel powerless because we are dragging the same mindset with us everywhere we go without any awareness that we're doing so. And so it's a very simple way to simply look at. One of the things I invite readers to in the book is just pay attention to when you wake up tomorrow morning, what are the first 3 thoughts that you're aware of? And then how do those thoughts make you feel? So you want to bring attention first and foremost is where do you place your most precious commodity, your internal attention right now? Not to judge it, just to be aware of it. And so one of mine that I share in the book is I should be further ahead. It's a thought that I've had since I was like in my 20s, and it's a thought that makes me feel bad, anxious, overwhelmed. It's not a good thought, and then another thought.
It could be a motivator, but if you're constantly thinking it, then that drags you
down.
Yeah,
well, I've been thinking it for 30 years, so at some point it needs to, it's not. It's like, does that thought make me feel the way I want to feel? That gets me to do what I know I need to do to continue to have the life that I want. And that's the question. If it's motivating, fantastic, keep the thought, it's wonderful. If it's starting to make me feel anxious and overwhelmed and like I never get to arrive, it's just not a useful thought for me at this time. So it's just bringing awareness. Where are we placing our internal attention now? Politics, news, world events, problems, frustrations, or are we giving as much attention to everything we have in our lives right now? Our level of youth, our health, the opportunities, our children, anything, the kind word of a stranger, this opportunity to speak to you. And I just invite that we balance it, because without being intentional, we will continue to think the same way we always have, and therefore we will live the same life experience we have always lived. and nothing will change despite external circumstances changing. And I think that's the saddest existence of all. So I simply want to invite is, where are you placing your internal attention? Where do you want to place it? And give and start to habituate into that, so that you can not only achieve these things out in the external world, but feel the way you most dream of feeling as you do so.
It's interesting. You said a couple things in there. One of them was brought back a thought, and it's like somebody said, I have 10 years of experience. And the response was, do you have 10 years of experience or 1 year repeated 10 times? That's where we get caught. We get stuck. This is who I am. This is where I am. So when we talk about different, are you happy with where you are? So do you have a bad attitude? Or more importantly, do you know people who have a bad attitude? And the question goes back to, why do they have a bad attitude? And there's also the people who are, I wrote it down, oh, woe is me, and I'm not worthy. Those people, no matter what happens to them. I got somebody on the pickleball court that when we win on pickleball, because we switch partners and just play. And when we win, she goes, well, I only got lucky today because normally I don't win. And they're a pretty decent pickleball player. But, that's their attitude. Oh, I'm not going to win. I don't really care if I win as long as I have fun doing it. Well, that's not true, because they enjoy winning, right? Everybody enjoys winning. But it's one of those deals where Susanne has 24 years of experience. She's the knowledge. She's the expert that can help you get out of where you are and into where you want to be. And that's important, that you take care of the expertise that she has to offer. Tap into that. Go to her website. Susanne, as we wrap this up, we've been on here 20 some minutes already. So as we wrap this up, tell people how to get in touch with you again.
Again, please just visit my my website, SuzanneBiro.com. You can follow me on social media. You can read my blog. If any of that connects with you and it offers you value, you can listen to my podcast called Deep Fear to Empowered Leadership in Business and in Life. Wow. You can download my app called Inner Life Leadership. You can order my book called This Could Be Everything. Everything will be on the website. But if any of it's useful, I'm so delighted. That's why I created it.
Cool. Isn't that fantastic? And you said you're on social media. Are you on social media with your name?
Yes.
Okay, because a lot of people, put pseudonyms and they do other stuff. When you are really out there creating for yourself and the people that you care about, we put our names out there. If you go on any of the social media, any of it, and you type in Steve Sapato, you're going to find me. If you type in Susanne Biro, you're going to find her. And that's important, because our reputation is on the line all the time, and we want you to take advantage of what we have to share with you. Susanne, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And you said your book won't come out for about a month.
And people could sign up to be notified as well on my website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Listen, Steve, you have been so gracious and wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, folks, if you want to get in touch, you know how to get in touch with Susanne. And mine is steve@stevesapato.com. You can certainly reach out to me, ask me questions. But most importantly, right now, I want you to reach up and click that subscribe button so you get knowledge, information from experts and professionals who can make a difference in your life and in your business. You've been listening to the Know, Like, and Trust podcast. I hope you have a fabulous day. God bless.
Yeah.